Hello friends, let's discuss current affairs and today's first questions on a new idea proposed by the so-called new idea proposed by the French president. That's the answer, by the way. And what's the idea? The European political community. Now, what is this about? See, Macron said that there are a lot of countries that want to join the European Union but are not part of the entity. Now, they may not be part of the entity, but they share the same values as members of the European Union. Now, you need to understand something here that there are countries in Europe, in the continent of Europe, that are not part of the European, Union. Before we discuss this particular idea, let me tell you the European Union has 27 members. 27 members. It comprises the European Parliament, European Council. Okay. So the European Union comprises the European Parliament, European Commission. The European Union is headquartered in Brussels. It's headquartered in Brussels. And the president of the European Union is Ursula von der Leyen. She's from Germany. Now, see, these 27 members are there. Earlier there were 28, as you know, and Britain opted out, so we got 27 there. Now, some of these, have a bigger voice than others, but more or less, when it comes to the European Union, every country has got one vote, irrespective of how strong the country is in terms of its economy or in terms of its political capacity. So Macron said that let's have a new entity called the European Political Community that will not be a rival to the European Union, but yes, it would act as more or less like, supplementary. It would supplement the efforts of the European Union in establishing peace, democracy on the continent. Now, you need to understand something here. This is not the first time this idea has been floated. Way back in 1952, this idea was floated by some members of the European Union. In those days, there was no European Union, by some members of the European continent. So, what are the countries that Macron had in mind when he discussed this? He specifically was looking at countries like Georgia, which is here. This is Georgia. Okay, this country you see here. This is Georgia, where I put the red dot. Okay. Then Moldova this is Moldova, and this is Ukraine, and this is Moldova. Okay, Moldova borders Romania, which is a European Union member. So Moldova, and then Ukraine. Of course, as you see, there are two prominent countries in Europe which are not members of the European Union. One is Norway here. This is Norway, and then in the center of the European continent you have Switzerland. Okay, so Switzerland, Norway are not members of the European Union. And if you look at these three countries, Georgia here, this is Georgia, Ukraine, and Moldova. Now, Georgia and Moldova were once part of the USSR. Okay, and Ukraine, of course, three of them were parts of the USSR, of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. So, and you see this patch of countries here. Croatia, this is Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Montenegro. We have Macedonia, North Macedonia. So countries like this, but that were once part of the country of Yugoslavia, but are no longer, constituent republics of some other country, but they are independent countries by themselves. See, there was this country called Yugoslavia, which is a socialist country, more or less a communist socialist country. It broke up in 1992. And when it broke up in 1992, all the republics, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Montenegro, Macedonia, Kosovo, Serbia, Croatia, they all tried to become independent countries. Some of them did succeed. Yeah. So these countries, Europe, Macron said that we should be making sure that these countries are on our side, because like Emmanuel Macron was in Ukraine recently, and in Ukraine he said that while Ukraine has applied for a membership of the European Union, it may take decades to become a member. Of course, there are a lot of things that have to be sorted out, and that decades statement kind of shook up all these countries like Georgia and all. So Macron suggested, why not have a different entity that European Union, can steer these countries into a certain ideology, certain political ideology. So he proposed the European Political Community. Okay, so if you look at the choices here, Biden is the American president. Morawiecki is Prime Minister of Poland. Okay, Poland. Alexander De Croo is the Prime Minister of Belgium. Olaf Scholz is the is the Chancellor of Germany. Chancellor of Germany. By offloading a 3.5% stake in LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India, what is the total amount the company wants to raise through its initial public offering? Initial public offering is the first public issue of a company, first public share issue. Now, through this, the company expects to collect money from the public by selling its shares. Okay. As of today, LIC, before this IPO, LIC was a Government of India entity, completely owned by the Government of India. Now it's 3.5% owned by the public of India. Okay, the shareholders. So if 3.5% is about 20,000 crore rupees, that's about what, a little over 6 lakh crore rupees is the total value of LIC. Yeah. So let me take you further on this. No, it's 60 lakh actually. Yeah. So this is 3%. No, 3% is 6 lakh crore rupees. I'm so sorry once again. This 3.5%, 20,000, and this is a huge company. It's not a small company. I want to tell you something more about LIC. It has 13.29 lakh agents. I found this information on its website. Think about it. 13.29 lakh agents. It has 2,048 branch offices, 8 journal offices. Head office is in Mumbai, of course, as you would know this. Head office is in Mumbai. Okay. Why don't we write the names of the guys running the show at the top? See, LIC has one chairperson, and 4 managing directors, 4 MDs. We'll write the names of all. So who's the chairperson? Kumar Mangalam. You could write it. Kumar Mangalam Ramasubramaniam. Kumar Mangalam Ramasubramaniam. Some places actual name is, see, I put the Kumar first, but it should be Mangalam Ramasubramaniam Kumar. Mangalam Ramasubramaniam Kumar. I suddenly had the chairperson of Aditya Birla Group in my mind, so I wrote Kumar. That guy's name is Kumar Mangalam Birla, so this came straight out. Kumar Mangalam Birla is not the right way to put it. It is Mangalam Ramasubramaniam Kumar. Mangalam Ramasubramaniam Kumar. Four managing directors. 1. Vishnu Charan Patnaik. Vishnu Charan Patnaik. 2. Ipimeni. 3. Siddharth Mohanty. 4. 4. Rajkumar. Rajkumar. Okay, guys, there we go. Tennis sensation Carlos Alcaraz, who won the men's singles Madrid Open title 2022 after defeating who? The world number 1 Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, and Alexander Zverev. You know, he defeated all of them, and currently he is world number 6. As of today, he is world number 6, my friends. And he is from Spain. He is from Spain. You see this logo here? This logo, which is again represented here. This is the logo of Nike, as you know. Logo of Nike, and it has a name. This logo is called swoosh. It's called swoosh. 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 That's the name of this logo. Okay. Who is the world number 1? Novak Djokovic, world number 1. He is from Serbia. Okay. Shall I give you just the capitals? Chalo, we can write this. Serbia, Belgrade. Greece, Athens. Spain, Madrid. Argentina, Buenos, I'll write in capitals, Aires. Buenos Aires. And Italy, Rome. You don't need the currently, I mean, it's not information. Something that I don't want to overload you with information. Belgrade's, I mean, Serbia's president is Alexander Vucic. Greece's prime minister is Kyriakos Mitsotakis. Spain, Pedro Sanchez. Argentina, the president is a guy named Alberto Fernandez. Rome's prime minister, I mean, Italy's prime minister is Mario Draghi. But this information is enough here. Across the world, World Thalassemia Day is observed on 7th May. And this is a hereditary blood disease. It's a genetic blood disease. What kind of disorder it is? Is it? See, this is characterized by severe anemia. When that comes from decreased hemoglobin production. So you could write this: characterized by decreased hemoglobin production. Hemoglobin production. See, if hemoglobin is low in the blood, so this leads to severe anemia. And severe anemia leads to extreme tiredness, and of course the skin also looks pale skin. This is very common among Indian women. This anemia is very common among women, Indian women, primarily because of low iron content, and because they are, most women in India are undernourished. They eat much less than what they should be eating. But that's how it is, my friends. So anemia is pretty common. Low iron content is very, very common in India. Okay. See, anemia means low red blood cells. Anemia, if someone has anemia, it means that low blood, there is the count, RBC count, red blood cell count is very low. And that means that hemoglobin production is very low. Yeah. Chalo, from here, let's go. With a little under $2.5 trillion in assets. Trillion is 1,000 billion. 1 trillion equals 1,000 billion. With a little under $2.5 trillion in assets as of today, which company recently dethroned Apple as the world's most valuable company, as surging oil prices drove up shares and tech stocks slumped. So the price of shares of a lot of tech companies, technology companies crashed, while the prices of fuel and energy companies like Aramco, ExxonMobil and all have actually increased. Now why? Because there is an increased demand for fuel, or energy resources because of a shortfall from because of the sanctions on Russia. So as you know, Russia is one of the top three largest producers of gas and oil, basically. So, but there are sanctions. So Saudi Aramco is headquartered in a place called Tehran. Saudi Aramco is headquartered in Tehran. So HO is headquartered, and it's run by a person called Amin Nasir. Amin Nasir. Its CEO is Amin Nasir. It's a huge company. Last year its revenues were about $361 billion. Can you beat that? $361 billion. Yeah, it's a huge company. So some books will tell you it's 359. Now it's, some say 361. Does not matter. Take a round figure of 360. Now it's a balanced number. It's huge. And how does the name Aramco come? It comes from, see, AR is Arabian, AM is American. Earlier it was called Arabian American Oil Company. That's how the name comes, Aramco. Okay. ExxonMobil is one of the world's largest oil companies. So I'll just tell you a little about these oil companies, not all, just maybe 2-3. You could write this. This is headquartered in Irving, in the American state of Texas. The town of Irving, Texas, US. It's headed by chairperson and CEO Darren Woods. Darren Woods. Total Energies, his head office is just outside Paris. Yeah, there is a place called Courbevoie. Don't worry, it's French. Just write Paris. Paris, and it's headed by a guy called Patrick Pouan. Okay. Chevron, huge company. See, it's a $162 billion company, so obviously it's very large, So Chevron, you have, its head office is in San Ramon, California, US, and it's run by CEO Michael Worth. Okay. PetroChina is not important. Which of the following companies and institutions recently showcased India's first research demonstration of V2X, vehicle to everything communication? See, when you pronounce this word, the H is silent. It's vehicle. What is it? Vehicle. So these three entities came together to demonstrate this. Now, what is this technology? Vehicle to everything. So the vehicle will be able to communicate with communication network like let's say Airtel or whatever. It could communicate with another car on the road. Yeah. At the same time, it can communicate with people on the road, and of course, vehicle to infrastructure like traffic lights and everything. Now, why is this important? Because this is something that will help road safety. Yeah, it will bring down the number of road accidents. At the same time, there will increase fuel efficiency. Fuel efficiency means if there is no obstruction, obviously things will be, because of communication, there is no obstruction, then vehicle can move faster, smoother. And that will not only lead to fuel efficiency, it will also lead to savings in energy. Okay. And of course, traffic efficiency will also improve overall. These are all things that are in the future, but all the future starts today, isn't it? Your future starts today. You work hard today, you can build a better future. It's the same thing. So what today, seems like, normal technology like a cell phone, everything, back in, in 2024, when I was in college, things were like, how can there be a cell phone that you could carry it around and go around? No, it was not possible. We couldn't even imagine something like that. But today it's an integral part of life. So these kind of technologies are pretty normal. Yeah, they're going to become very normal in our future. By the way, Maruti Suzuki is owned by Suzuki Corporation of Japan. Suzuki was a technical collaborator in a Government of India company called Maruti Udyog Limited. Maruti Suzuki is the name today, but when it was started by the Government of India, yes, it was a Government of India company, PSU. It was called Maruti Udyog Limited, MUL. Maruti Udyog Limited. Maruti Udyog sounds like some paper seller kind of thing, some stationery store or a grocery store kind of thing. So Maruti Udyog Limited was started by the Government of India to manufacture cars in technical collaboration with Suzuki Corporation of Japan. Over a long period of time, the Government of India began to sell its shares, and do away with its running, with the idea of running the company. So this was called disinvestment. Over a long period of time, they began to sell some 5%, then 10%, 15%. At one time, it actually privatized the entire company. It said, we don't want this company, take it away. Of course, you have to repay the required amount. Okay. So Suzuki took over the company, and today Maruti Suzuki is a private sector company, but it started as a public sector company. Okay. Its CEO is a guy called Kenichi Ayukawa. Maruti Suzuki CEO is Kenichi Ayukawa. If you say Kenichi, all you have to remember is Ninja Hattori. Yeah, that lazy boy called Kenichi. Of course, this guy is hardworking. But we are talking of Kenichi, the lazy guy who's always trying to impress a girl in his class. Yeah, but who's always helped by his family members like, Hattori and Sushimano and what's his name, and Shinjo. Oh, I watch all these things. It's all fun. Which country has been unanimously elected as a new chairperson new chair of the Association of Asian Election Authorities for a 2-year term? India. Please know that Asian election authorities would mean that there is an election commission which conducts free and fair elections. But if you look at the choices, Cambodia, this is Cambodia, okay, this one here. This country is known to be a dictatorship, though there is parliamentary democracy here in terms of, it's what is called a constitutional monarchy. It's a British system, okay. They have a constitutional monarchy followed by a parliamentary democracy. On paper, the head of the state is the king. On paper, there is democracy, there are free elections, everything. But in real life, the Prime Minister Hun Sen runs the country with his iron fist. Oh man, this guy has been there since I think 1986 or 85. Yeah. He rules the country with an iron fist. Number of opposition leaders have died under mysterious circumstances. And every time he wins an election, the world knows that he must have rigged the election. Okay. So Cambodia cannot be there. At least it would not be a good choice. If there is a choice like that, it would not be a good choice. But luckily it's India, where the election commission is quite free. Laos, this is Laos here. You can see this here, Laos, and this is Vietnam. Both Laos and Vietnam, like China, are single party states. These are single party communist states. So the Communist Party is the only party that allowed to exist in these countries. There are no elections. On paper, there are minor elections, but there are no actual elections in this country. So, if you look at Laos, Vietnam, communist countries, Afghanistan, of course, as you know, these guys, Taliban, don't believe in elections and everything. So, let me tell you a little about these countries. Okay, and just before I take you to the notes part, remember that this entire area was called Indochina. This was the official name of this area, Indochina. It was ruled by France. In 1960s, it was ruled by France. Okay. So, let's go this. Cambodia, Prime Minister, capital is, it's mentioned here. See this, Phnom Penh, star mark. It's star mark everywhere, no? Yeah, it is actually. Phnom Penh. The Prime Minister is PM Hun Sen. The currency is real. Okay, yeah. Let's go to another country in the region. Laos. Okay, we will not discuss everything. Chalo, discuss kar lete. Capital is Vientiane. The president is Thunglong Sisulut. Okay, and the currency is Kip. I think that's a currency. Yeah, Kip. Vietnam. Hanoi. Vin or Guen. There are two ways of pronouncing it. Guen or Vin. W-I-N. Vin. Phuc. Trong. That's the president. And the currency is Dong. Dong. Afghanistan. Kabul. Named after the river Kabul, on whose banks this is built. The city was built, settled here on the banks of the river Kabul. Then they have an interim prime minister. So we'll look at the name of the Taliban, the name of the Taliban leader. The leader of the Taliban is Hibatullah Akhundzada. Hibatullah Akhundzada is the leader, the chief of the Taliban. And from there you could look at the currency. Afghani. Okay. Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently participated in the second global COVID virtual summit hosted by Joseph Biden, the US president. Who are these guys? We'll just touch and go. Canadian PM Canada, President Brazil, Director General WHO, World Health Organization, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, he is the President of Mexico. President of Mexico. The Union Minister for Minority Affairs, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, recently inaugurated India's first Amrit Sarovar in Rampur. Rampur. What is an Amrit Sarovar? See, these are defunct water bodies. Now they are rejuvenating them, and there are likely to be about 789 such water bodies, which will not only recharge groundwater, but will also provide, tourism and other, of course, help to people in the living in the areas. Need to understand something. Let me repeat. Defunct water bodies means water bodies that have dried up because of lack of groundwater, because of negligence, because of a lot of other reasons. So, these guys will, what we say, the government will rejuvenate water bodies by removing encroachments, by preparing the bed, the lake bed for what we say, water storage and everything, and this will create better groundwater capacity and provide water through the year, even during lean seasons. So this particular lake was started in Rampur in Uttar Pradesh, and it is believed to have cost about 60 lakh rupees. So the nearly 800 such lakes, that's the exact number, nearly 800 such lakes are under development. Okay. So this is a good thing. It's always a good thing to conserve water, to ensure that things are taken care of, especially in an environmental way. You find Railway University in Vadodara. Vadodara choice 5, Railway University. The 2022 Thomas Cup and Uber Cup, which are biennial international badminton championships contested by the men and women's national teams respectively, was hosted by, Bangkok, Thailand. So just write this, Thomas Cup, men's. This is played by men's, okay, men only. So winner, India, first title. Runner up, Indonesia. Who were the players from India? Lakshya Sen, Shrikant Kidambi, third one, doubles team. Satvik Sairaj, one word, Satvik Sairaj, Rankireddy, it's one name, okay, and Chirag Shetty. So the singles, players, Lakshya Sen, Shrikant Kidambi, Satvik Reddy, doubles team of Satvik Sairaj, Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty won all their matches. So India defeated Indonesia by 3-0. Okay, terrific effort from India. And let's look at the Uber Cup. Uber women's. Winner, South Korea. Runner up, China. Okay. I think this is enough here. The UN General Assembly recently voted overwhelmingly for Russia to be replaced with Czech Republic on the UN Human Rights Council. Okay, UN Human Rights Council. Czech Republic. Why don't we take the names of the capitals of the Prime Minister and everything else? I think capitals are enough. Czech Republic, Prague. Okay. See, the Prime Minister is a guy called Petr Fiala. Don't write it. Enough here. Czech Republic, Prague. Slovenia. Ljubljana. I know it sounds very weird. Slovakia, Bratislava. Estonia, what is the capital? Tallinn. Now, Kosovo, as you know, this is not recognized by all countries in the world. About 97 UN members recognize this to be an independent country. But as I told you, it was, we mentioned a while ago about we mentioned Yugoslavia and how it broke up in 92. The republics in that became separate countries. Kosovo now has declared independence. Okay. But not all countries accept that. So Kosovo's capital is Pristina. Is it? Pristina. Yeah. Which of the following persons was honored with this year's prestigious Templeton Prize 2022? Frank Wilczek. This guy is a professor of physics at Massachusetts. Physics prof at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. If you want the spelling, I can give you that. Massachusetts Institute of Technology. This is considered to be the world's #1 engineering sciences and engineering college. World's #1. Now, I want you to be a little more familiar here. This guy received the 2004 Nobel Physics. 2004 Nobel Physics. Okay. He received the 2004 Nobel Physics along with who? These two guys. Okay. So in 2004, the Physics Nobel went to David Gross, David Pulitzer, and Frank Wilczek. 3 guys. Why and all that? Not necessary. So what is a Templeton Prize? Now let me tell you this also. Templeton Prize. You could write this. World's richest prize. World's richest prize. World's richest prize. You know what? Though it's the world's richest prize. See, it's the world's richest prize in terms of money. The fund is adjusted in such a way that it is more, the purse, the money given to the winner is more than what the Nobel winner gets. That's how it is. It's always been that way. Okay? So, world's richest prize. And what is it about? You could write, awarded to those who harness science to explore the deepest questions of universe, explore the deepest questions of universe and humankind's place and purpose, humankind's place and purpose within it. Okay, within it. When I first read this when I was in school, I learned about Templeton Prize because these kinds of things used to be used to be in quiz questions. So I was like, why would a prize? See, this sounds very big. Harnessing science to explore, the deepest questions of the universe and humankind's place and all that stuff, I used to be like, this sounds big. So what is it given for? It's given basically for religion and spirituality. Simple. Okay. Because that's the purpose of spiritual questions. What is this all about? What are we here for? Is there higher purpose that humankind has? All those things. The inaugural winner of this prize was Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa. Who among the following persons has recently been appointed Louis Vuitton's first ever Indian brand ambassador? Deepika Padukone. Deepika Padukone, yes. Louis Vuitton is actually it's called LVMH. That's the name of the company. Louis Vuitton is here, okay? LV Moet NSA. This is the world's largest luxury goods company. It's a huge company, my friends, okay? It owns brands like Chandon. If you have heard of Chandon, no problem. Have you heard of Tag Heuer? Yeah, it owns Tag Heuer. It owns Givenchy. It owns Christian Dior, ultra luxury brand. Have you heard of these watch brands like Bulgari, Hublot? Yeah, I'm greatly interested in learning all these things here. Yeah. Name the acclaimed Indian architect who recently received one of the world's highest honors for architecture, the Royal Gold Medal 2022. Balkrishna Vittal Das Doshi. Balkrishna Vittal Das Doshi. So he has won practically every top award in architecture. Okay, like he is the only Indian recipient of the Pritzker Prize. The Pritzker Prize is the Oscar and the Nobel of architecture world. The highest award in the world of architecture is Pritzker Prize, and he's received that. You know, he is a guy who built I Am Bangalore, I Am Indore, NIFT Delhi. Oh, plenty of books, plenty of buildings. Okay, yeah. With which international institution has the Agriculture Ministry signed the MOU for strategic partnership on agriculture, crop insurance and credit? UNDP. UNDP. United Nations Development Program. You could write this. United Nations Development Program, headquartered in New York City, headed by Achim Steiner. He has dual citizenship of Germany and Brazil. Okay, then World Economic Forum, headquartered in Colony. It's just outside Geneva. Colony, and it's headed by its founder chairperson named Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab. IMF we have been discussing forever, man. So, United Nations Environment Program. Yeah, it's headquartered in Nairobi, which is the capital of Kenya. It's headed by Inger Anderson. I'm so sorry, guys. I pressed the wrong button, I think. Inger Anderson. Inger Anderson is from Denmark. Okay? Is from Denmark. Food and Agriculture Organization, Rome. And this UN specialized agency is headed by Ku Okay. Ku Dongyu of China. Ku Dongyu of China. Ku Dongyu of China. Yeah. Next. Former cricketer Andrew Symonds recently died in a road accident. He played cricket for Australia. Now, I actually have written down, but I couldn't remember. I don't remember these numbers, so I have some data for him. He played 26 Test matches. This is one of the rare occasions when I would be taking the help of a paper. He played 26 Test matches and 198 ODIs. Here he scored more than 5,000 runs. Okay, and here he scored about 1,462 runs, so let's make it 1,005. He was nicknamed Roy. He had issues with alcohol, so he was suspended multiple times by Cricket Australia. Yeah. He died in a single vehicle collision. He was driving and the vehicle just swerved off the road and turned turtle. He died on the spot. Yeah. Ranil Wickremesinghe has been appointed Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. You know this, Sri Lanka. Yeah. He succeeds a guy called Mahinda Rajapaksa. So Ranil Wickremesinghe succeeds Mahinda Rajapaksa. Okay. This guy is Pakka pro India. Malaysia has a prime minister named Ismail Yaqub. Okay, Ismail Yaqub. Thailand, Pradyut or Prayut, both are fine. Chan O Cha. Nepal, Sher Bahadur. Dioba. Sher Bahadur Dioba. Okay. And Bhutan, Lote Sharing. Except these two countries, the other three, that is Malaysia, Thailand, and Bhutan, have a monarch as the head of the government, head of the state. Okay. Finland has applied for NATO membership. Find incorrect statements about Finland. Okay, just before that, NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, North Atlantic Treaty Organization started 1949. Okay. Dash military alliance. It's a military alliance that works on the principle of collective responsibility, or one for all for one. One for all for one. If one member is attacked by a non-NATO member, then all the NATO members are liable to protect this country under attack. Okay. So let me take you further on this. It's headed by it's headquartered in Brussels. NATO head office Brussels, and Brussels. And if you look at its head, Secretary General is Jens Stoltenberg. Jens Stoltenberg of Norway. He's ex-Prime Minister of Norway. Yeah. Okay. So Finland has applied because Finland fears Russia, of course. It shares a long border with Russia. So if you look at something more here, I want you to pay attention. Just a second, please. Yeah, when I say I want you to pay attention, I'm not paying attention. I know. I'm just disconnecting a call. And you would find that this is Finland, sharing borders with Sweden, Norway, and Russia. It shares maritime boundaries with Estonia, Poland, and all these countries here. Okay, so if you look at Norway's prime minister, see, Norway is a Nordic country, 5 Nordic countries. Okay, 1 Finland, 2 Sweden, 3 Norway, 4 Denmark, 5 Iceland. 5 Iceland. Fair? Helsinki is the capital. Yes. Finland shares land borders with Norway, Sweden, and Russia. Yes, Russia, Finland, Russia. You know, Finland, Norway, Sweden, and all that. So, euro is a currency, of course. Euro is a currency. I want you to be a little more familiar with this country. Finland's capital is Helsinki, but the prime minister is Sanna Marin. Sanna Marin. That's a prime minister. The youngest female head of state ever. Sanna Marin. She was 32 when she became the prime minister of Finland. She must be about 35 now. Yeah, 35, 36. Yeah. Whom the following persons recently took charge as the 25th Chief Election Commissioner of India? Rajiv Kumar. Rajiv Kumar. He succeeds Sushil Chandra. Sushil Chandra. Sushil Chandra. Okay, now he is a new CEC. Typically, there is one CEC, 2 election commissioners. Rajiv Kumar and Anup Chandra Pandey were election commissioners, and Rajiv Kumar has now become the chief election commissioner, succeeding Sushil Chandra. But who is the election commissioner other than Pandey, Mr. Pandey? There is only one. He is the election commissioner of India. The second person is yet to be appointed. Chief election commissioner is Rajiv Kumar. Election commissioner is Anup Chandra Pandey. Anup Chandra Pandey. Rajiv Gauba is the chief secretary of India. Cabinet secretary. Cabinet secretary. Cabinet secretary. Girish Chandra Murmu is comptroller and auditor general. Comptroller and Auditor General. Fair? Then Suman Berry. Suman Berry is the Vice Chairman of Niti Ayog. Niti Ayog. Suman Berry is the Vice Chairperson of Niti Ayog. So, Suman Berry succeeds another Rajiv Kumar, not this Rajiv Kumar, who is the new CEC of India. Fair? So, Suman Berry, Vice Chairperson of Niti Ayog. AIIB, that is the Asian Infrastructure and Investment. Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank is headquartered in the nation of China. It's in Beijing. You could write this, Beijing. And it's headed by Jin Likan of China. Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank is a multilateral regional development bank. It's headquartered in Beijing, capital of China, headed by a Chinese diplomat, politician called Jin Likan. Okay. Now coming to South Korea. Yeah, just before that, Singapore. What is that? Singapore. Singapore, as you know, is at the tip of the Malaysian Peninsula. And Singapore's Prime Minister is Lee Hsien Loong. Lee Hsien Loong. Japan, the Prime Minister is Fumio Kishida. He was in India, as you know. South Korea. My eyes are again. This guy is a new fellow. What's his name? Yoon Suk Yeol. Yoon Suk Yeol is a new president of South Korea. He succeeded a guy called Moon Jae-in. Don't write this on it. Okay. New president of South Korea, Yoon Suk Yeol. Is one of my favorite areas in the world. The capital of Uzbekistan is. I don't make these questions. My team, we have a big team at time, so which makes these questions. So I found it very interesting. So I put a map to this question. The capital of Uzbekistan. This is Uzbekistan. This is this country is Uzbekistan. The capital is in the corner here. Okay. So what's the capital? Tashkent. What is it? Tashkent. There is this movie called Tashkent Files. See, on 10th January 1966, Lal Bahadur Shastri, India's second Prime Minister, died here in mysterious circumstances. He had gone there, that was Soviet Union in those days. He had gone there to sign the ceasefire agreement, peace agreement with Pakistan. So what happened is a matter of mystery, my friends. Okay. Then Kabul is the capital of Afghanistan. This is Afghanistan here. You find Afghanistan. This is Pakistan down here. India here. Afghanistan. Bishkek. You see this? Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan. Ashgabat. You will find Turkmenistan here. Turkmenistan. See, these were all part of the Soviet Union. Now, of course, they are independent countries. Dushanbe, you can see it here. Tajikistan. This is Kazakhstan, the world's largest landlocked country. No access to the sea. See, this is an inland sea. We are not discussing this kind of sea. Open seas we are discussing. Okay. See, the capital here is mentioned here is Astana. Now, Kazakhstan's capital is renamed Nur Sultan. Nur Sultan. Earlier name was Astana. Now it's called Nur Sultan. Now, why Nur Sultan? The current president of Kazakhstan is a guy called Kassym-Jomart Tokayev. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev. He succeeded a guy called Nur Sultan Nazarbayev, who had ruled the country with an iron fist and was a dictator. But when Nur Sultan stepped aside after ruling for almost 2 decades, this guy, Jomart, was picked by, as a president. So to honor the Chamchagiri, he renamed the capital Astana in honor of his, his sponsor and benefactor and previous president, Nur Sultan Nazarbayev. So Astana is now called Nur Sultan. Okay. That's about it. Thank you for being here. Have a lot of fun. That's all from Bharat C. Jain. Enjoy yourself. Stay curious.